Hello and welcome. We are in the Miniland of Legoland Dubai, and we are about to take a look at some of the largest scale Lego models I have ever seen inside its own Miniland. This one alone is over 500,000 bricks. So there's lots to see in this video, and there's multiple parts to come just because the scale of all the buildings are so vast and large. As I pan up, you'll see in the background you've got the city of Dubai. All of that's going to come day and night because they do a night show as well. So you've got lots of different bits and pieces to look forward to. But we are at the moment looking at this absolutely massive landmark. So as we go around, you'll actually see how large this thing is. It just keeps going further and further back. But we have got some details to come of this mosque. So we are about to see it is a 1/3 scale. It took 6,300 hours to build and design, and it's 536,292 Lego bricks we used to build it. Now, the difference between the Miniland in Dubai compared to a lot of the other Minilands is you're looking for the detail in the buildings rather than looking at the detail in front. So there's not a lot of animatronics within this one. There's not a lot of built-up scenes and sort of figures and all of that side of stuff. It's just a case of look how large everything is and look at all the detail within the building as well. So if you spot any building techniques that you really like, please let me know in the comments below. And if you've been here before, again, please let me know. And also, how do you think this compares to the other Minilands that are available in different playlists? Obviously, the biggest difference is that we are indoors. So you can see it is a fully enclosed unit, hence why it is slightly darker than some of the other videos. I have turned the brightness up, and it made a big difference if it wasn't very sunny outside, if it was cloudy, and the windows were tinted as well. So they did everything as much as possible to protect the bricks so the sun didn't get on there, but at the same time we get to see the really nice lights as we walk around. Now these units, these models, you can actually crawl through and underneath and see the inside of them, and that is what we will do in a couple of minutes once I've done a full loop round. But as you can see, we're literally just looking at all the detail within the building rather than anything really to look at in front of it, and that's kind of the same theme with regards to their city as well. So it is very, very different, but the thing is enormous. So over 500,000 Lego bricks just for this one. And then to the right hand side as well, we have this monstrous pyramid as well, so we'll get to that one in a second. It was amazing that it took 17 minutes just to film 3 of these, and then I do believe there's maybe 6 or 7 different parts to come. So the city split up in just as 2 or 3 as normal, but I didn't realise that not only do they have the big city, they also have an extra horseshoe all around the outside of these massive things as well, and 1 or 2 were missing, so it'll be really interesting to see what they're going to be putting in those places. So this is me being really elegant and climbing underneath the tunnel, and now we're on the inside, and you can see the detail of the mosaic on the floor. That is all Lego. They've built all of that out of Lego. It's not stone or anything like that. Every single thing is brick, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. The thing's that big, can you spot the Wi-Fi box? Because you've got free internet when you're walking around, and you will see that they have hidden the Wi-Fi box just there, look. So that's the size of a normal box that you would have at home, and it looks like an ant compared to the actual scale of the model. So it just puts it into perspective how large this thing is if it's not coming through on camera properly. But you've got all these little hidden details with everything within the wall and everything. So have you seen anything in this detail before? If so, what park was it at? And like I've said a couple of times already, how does this compare to your local Miniland? Now, in the other playlists that are available, we have got Legoland Windsor playlist, and we've also got the Legoland Billund playlist as well. And hopefully, after this has all gone live, there'll be a couple of other parks that I've already visited, and then we can start comparing all the other bits and pieces as well. So once we have done a full loop of this, I will then crawl back through and underneath, nice and smooth. You won't even know that I'm crawling, and we will then loop round and head towards the pyramid on the right hand side. But you can see the scale of the skyscrapers in the background. Those things are huge. So this is me now. Told you it was low. There you go, face on the floor, got underneath, absolutely no problem. and now we'll move round to the next one, which is the pyramids. So I think there'll be a plaque with regards to how many bricks and things this was. I timed that just right because the Litlands had just come out, and then we head our way in. Again, lots of little hidden detail, lots of little fires and all that side of stuff. So the big old building that we're about to walk around now, this has the most detail out of everything on the outside. So get your eyes peeled with regards to all the different bits and pieces that you can see. Let me know what scenes and all those kind of things that you enjoy, and if there's anything that you'd actually want to copy with regards to putting it into your own city or anything similar. So we've got a lot of markets. I think this has a little village with a load of camels and everything as we start going around, but you can just see how vast these things are. And like I said, there were a couple missing, so if you have been before, please let me know what ones they've taken out. Let me know which ones are the newer ones as well. But you can see with the lights in front that they do have a light show, which I have already mentioned, and it's a shame that they don't have the light on permanently, but obviously in the light show it flickers different colours, so it would have been quite nice if they had just had the light on a little bit more, just so you could sort of see it a little bit easier, just because of how cloudy it was on the outside. It made certain things a little bit darker, but it didn't matter. It still comes through the camera okay, and you guys can see all the bricks nice and clearly. So you can see all the details with regards to all these facts and figures and how many bricks it took. It took 665 hours, 22,644 bricks. So that is one big model just there. And then we wrap it round and we start coming into more of the detail with regards to the lights and the made up sort of villages and things like that. So if you know anything with regards to what these are, again let me know. I think it might take us through a bit of a time history. I think as we go around it might have different bits and pieces throughout the time. So it's a little bit different because we have such a large amount to fill that and you can see that there's more than one pyramid as well. So we will loop it around, we do a full 360, and then if I remember rightly we will crawl underneath. So that's just a bit of information with regards to the actual pyramid itself. And then the facts are that it weighs 1,476 kilos and a total of 2,288 hours. And again, it's made from 501,000 Lego bricks. So the weight and everything of this is just absolutely enormous. There's just a lot of everything for everything within this one. And now we start coming around into the little other bits and pieces with regards to having more sort of built up figures and tents and canopies and boats and everything. So there's everything on here, so just see what it is you like, look at all the little hidden details of everything that they've got on there, and just see how many camels you can spot. If you can see people sort of pulling them around or sitting on them. There's a camel directly in front of us. But yeah, it's a very, very, very different thing, and the fact that you walk straight into it, this is the first thing that you see when you first come through those sliding doors. It is very, very, very impressive. And directly behind me, like I've said, that is actually their main display with all the city and everything. So there's lots more still to come, but I do like how they've added in all the leaves and everything, and obviously all the trees and stuff are a mix of real and Lego based. And they have, I'm trying to think if that's little goats and things that they're sat on there. Can't quite make it out. When I do the voiceover, I look it through a smaller screen, so it's quite difficult for me to see. And then when I watch it back again, it's like, oh, it was something completely different. So all the animatronics that they did have, if they did have any, so there would have been some just down at the front there. They've taken away all the push buttons, so they've stopped people touching them again because of COVID regs. But I think there would have been some sort of race out the front, because we're going to see a load of models all lined up on the track. So obviously once you push the button, they'll then start racing in front. But that's all been taken away. So there's all the horses there with the carriages. Now as we wrap round, we've got some more different bits and pieces. So there's a lot of animals within this, and there's the little stables and everything that they're all in. And what have we got in there? I do believe there's just more horses just chilling out in there. They're not the camels. The camels are dotted around behind the next bit of the pyramid. But again, if you look at the distance in the background, all of that's to come. You can see that some of the buildings have lights on, some of them don't. So if you're looking forward to all the skyscrapers and things, that is on its way. Now we have a lot of this as well, where they're in the process of building the pyramids and pulling different bits and pieces through. make out what you wish with regards to what that relates to within the time and decade of what that was done. And again, there's one huge one, a smaller one, and a teeny tiny pyramid. So I'm still walking around the same one. And then, if I remember rightly, the bit that you can crawl in is actually built underneath the pyramid rather than the one that we've just seen. But there's a lot of activity with regards to them trying to build up the next one, and you can see again all the lights that are at the bottom of the pyramid. It would have been nice if those lights were just on, just giving off a light glow. But I suppose at the same time it would have taken away the effect of all the other lights and everything as well. So moving on to the next bit, another transportation thing. I would imagine this would have been on a button, but they've taken that away and they've just got this animatronic working full time with regards to this one, and that just looks like it's some accommodation that they all stay in. And then we're coming around and we've got a couple more camels and a lot of people doing something. Not 100% sure what they're supposed to be doing, but again, I would imagine it would have been on a button, and they've taken those buttons away. So within that, there's a little shop. It looks like there's a little school as well. We're doing a little bit of an educational thing on the sand at the front on that one. So again, it goes all the way around, but I don't know what it's supposed to be representing. But it does look like the buildings are getting more and more modern, so it must be taking us through a sort of like a history through time type scenario. Which we've got a couple of bulls and everything in there. We've got a couple of donkeys. There's a couple of other different animals and things on the back of those houses, and it looks like it's a market as well. And again, it's got another bit of animatronics that will go around, and there's a load of the models and figures sat on top of the roofs and everything like that. But again, that actually I don't think that one was going, because it's supposed, you can see on the track how steep it's supposed to go up and wrap it round. And you've got all the ducks. I thought it was a nice little touch. You've got a load of different ducks and a load of different people sort of just chilling out within the city/market area, and there's a couple of cats on the ceiling. So there's a lot of animals within this one. So again, something slightly different as we walk around. So I think we might be getting back to the start, because that is one very large loop to get around that. Again, keep saying just how huge it is. I dread to think how many bricks there actually is with regards to this model. And then we come into here, and all of these were on a touch button, but obviously they've taken the buttons away, so it's like a crawl space, and they've got a load of Lego models within, and you've got all the Lego mosaics all up around the outside, but it's obviously just very, very dark. And there is one on. I do believe there is one on, which we might be able to catch and have a look at. And I think I might try and get my phone out and just, there we go. So you can sort of see a little bit, but it's a shame that they weren't on permanently, because again, there's a lot of hidden detail underneath this, but you just can't see it. And you couldn't even see it without the camera. You needed a light to see what was going on. But we did our best, so you can kind of see there, look, that they've got all of those bits and pieces would be moving, and the light would come on, and they'd all be doing different bits and pieces. Look, there's a load of treasure on the floor, and people sinking into quicksand, and just all sorts of different bits and bobs. But you can kind of see them. I don't know if it's supposed to be a show. I'm afraid I don't know. But again, if you've been before, let me know. And if you've got any photos of what it used to look like, that would be fantastic to see and share. But you can just see all the tiling on the mosaics and stuff on the floor and up on the walls and around the outside. So the details are very, very good with regards to all these little builds. And they've got so much stuff and hidden detail on the wall, so it might be a case you might have to pause it and just sort of have a look and see what's about and what's in there. But I think we managed to catch all of them before we come back out. And then once we come back out, we'll come into the last little section, and that last little section luckily did have some lights on, so we were okay. But now I'm trying to crawl out. So yeah, it was a hands and knees job, because that one is very low. And then we start wrapping it round to the next and last large model of this video, because like I said, there is so much more to come throughout the Legoland Dubai playlist, and just the Miniland side of things as well. So if you are really into your Lego models, you are going to be spoilt for choice with this playlist, so hopefully that makes some of you nice and happy. There's just over 2 minutes left, so we must be coming up to the last little walk around. So this has a little bit of detail with regards to just different bits and pieces on the floor, and then we've got some taller skyscrapers. And again, to my left, there was another huge area where there was just nothing on, so it looked like there should have been at least 1 or 2 more. But we have got a skyscraper tour to come, and then we've got all the Miniland tours to come. We've got the night visit to come. So yeah, there's a lot to see within this playlist as it gets uploaded, but you can just see how effective all the lights are with regards to all the bits and pieces within the buildings, which is really, really effective. And then we pan up and you can see the lights on the actual building, and these things have some height to them as well. So if you know what that is in the comments below, let me know, and take a guess of how many Lego bricks this one specific model is. Again, let me know. But there's bits and pieces that should be moving around and doing things, and again, they've taken that all out, but that's okay. So what do you think this is? How many Lego bricks are going to be used for this? So the facts and figures of the model: it took 978 hours, it weighs 205 kilos. But of course, it doesn't give us the total amount of Lego bricks, which is the same. But still write in the comment below. Let me know what you guys think with regards to how many bricks something like this would take to do, with regards to everything else that you've already seen. But there is a lot to take in. But I'm going to start wrapping it up here, guys. So if you could like and subscribe and all that good stuff, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Hopefully, you're looking forward to all the other Miniland bits and pieces to come. And hopefully it's going to give you some ideas to add into your own city, and just sort of get a better understanding of how to make skyscrapers and little bits and pieces that you can add in with regards to the bottom of the buildings and that side of stuff as well. But guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. You guys take care, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Ta-da.